Hey everybody, this is Pastor Dustin recording for TeamNerdChurch.com. I'm getting around to it a little bit late this week. It was having kind of a busy week. I ended up going down to DC for my cousin's wedding, which was extremely interesting. It was easily the most American wedding I have ever seen. My mother's side of the family is Jewish, and she's on that side, and she married a Scottish man, which meant that they had Hava Nagila played on the bagpipes. And if you have not heard Hava Nagila on the bagpipes, you, my friend, have not lived. So I get to go experience that, and now I am back at home in Northeast Ohio, and I decided I'd get around to recording one of these. So after this fills up, I'll unpause this and we'll get to going. Alright, here we go. Here is the sealed pool. So pull out all the junk cards and we'll go from there. Alright, here's the first chunk. You see a couple of those disappeared. I put some slivers down there on the bottom that would not normally make the cut, but because we do have a constricting sliver here, I kept them in just in case we end up going those colors, because then they gain some value off of that. So now I'm going to put all of the bombs down there at the bottom so we can play to our bomb. I took a quick look through there and found out that I don't really have bombs. I mean, this is a subpar card pool here. I've got Master of Predicaments, but my blue is, I've only got 10 cards here that are even playable. There's not a whole lot that I want to peel as I'm looking around, and so, it's a possibility blue makes it in just because of that. I've got some decent white, but you don't have the triplicate spheres that you're usually looking for. And I've got plenty of green, but it's not quite as deep as I would like to go. I do have Sliver Hive over here, so if I end up playing the Constricting Sliver, which I probably will, that'll make the cut, just as the combo there of shooting stuff down. I do have 2 Evolving Wilds, so if I need to splash to get better depth, I think that I will. The only thing that red really offers here are a couple of Lightning Strikes in the Belligerent Sliver. So there's a possibility that that makes it in because of Constricting. But man, I don't know what to do here. This is a subpar collection of cards, so let's see what we want. We'll start with the Constricting Sliver and the Sliver Hide. Meteorite's fine as removal, especially if we have to splash in other colors. Gargoyle Sentinel's a fine blocker. I prefer not to play this, but we might come back to it. Revoker is fine, get something, it's just a 2-drop. I don't think this is a grind clock kind of deck, so we're going to leave that on the sidelines as of right now. Let's see. So if we're going to play white, it looks like we've got a lot of early stuff. We of course want the Cathars, that throws off everybody's combat math. The River Marshal's a fine 2-drop, especially if we end up in blue. We've got the obligatory Raise the Alarms. The Sungrace Pegasus is okay, especially if you get some sort of enchantment on it. We've got a Divine Favor, but I don't think there's much else. I'm still going to play it. Warden of the Beyond, it's another fine card, Vigilance. I don't know if we have anything that actually removes something from the game. Midnight card is fine, just as a 2/3. The first response, I don't see any way that we can damage ourselves other than just not being that good of a deck. So I'm going to leave that one at the sideboard for the moment. Swift Claw can be okay. Soulmender is not. Okay. So we've got 12 cards already if you don't count the land. So we're going to need about another 9. So let's see. One possible route here is just going creature heavy and making a kind of a white-green beats deck. So if we do that, we get our Living Totems, the Mystic, we get the Sliver to pair, Siege Worm, just as your bomb, green creatures to go with the Paragon. We're already up to 20. Rune Claw Bear, just as a guy, and then you're already up to 20 cards. So let's see. Yeah, Master of Predicaments is a really hard one to just splash. If I were to go red, I could splash for some removal in that Belligerent Sliver, and then we're there. So this is a possible build. Looking at what's here, the Peel from Realities would go pretty well with the Living Totems and the Shaman. That's a possibility. It would also go well with just replaying Slivers once you've got that Constricting Sliver out. But we've already got the combo with the Sliver Hive, and that seems to be just more of a win more kind of thing once you get that going. Yeah, I think this is our best build. We are fairly aggressive. We load it pretty well on that 2-drop slot. But then we do peter out just a little bit. We've got a couple of these guys to make the weenies a little bit bigger. And then after that, I guess it's just, hope to find that constricting sliver and take out a couple of threats and push through. I am none too impressed by this, but we'll see how it does. Post sideboard, we do have, a couple of solemn offerings here, some plummets, reclamation sages, and that sort of thing. So we can cut the red post sideboard and go it with some enchantment artifact kind of hate and just get it back down to 2 in case that's what we're looking for. Let's see, is this really the build that we want? And if we look at the black, it offers us some more 2-drops in the Child of Knights, so it's not a whole lot different than what we're doing now. Sign of Blood's decent, but the double black makes it prohibitive in this kind of deck. Carrion Crow's nice for evasion, but yeah, I just don't see enough there. The red is very shallow. The blue's got some nice stuff in the Void Snares and the Appeal from Realities and that sort of thing. There's a possibility that we could run that and just try to be bouncing all of their stuff. The Appeals are a little less impressive. Let's see, what would this look like if we had blue? If you're just going to splash for the bottom end, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounce spells. So, let's see, if we get really aggressive on this, probably have to, 5 spells, so we could cut, we should have to cut all the red and 2 green spells. Maybe even the constricting sliver, because I think you'd have to go all in on that plan and just have everything down at the bottom. So if you did that, let's put the red back for now. Okay, so you lose your lightning strikes, the belligerent sliver, these guys. Okay, so all of you make it. Let's see, we are at 23. Well, we could try it this way and then just switch back over to red if that's not working. So what does that look like ideally? 1 drop, you get either a Mystic or a Cathar. 2 drop, you get some Raise the Alarms or one of these, so you get like 3 power on the board. And then you might start bouncing. A couple of these, it's a possibility. I am so unimpressed by my card pool that I'm just going to try something different. We're going to try the really hyper-aggressive bounce plan. And whenever you go hyper-aggressive, it is always best to go 3 colors. Let that be known, that is, of course, the smartest game plan in the world. Okay, so throw some Evolving Wilds in there to help us out. Gitmodo's recommendation, 5, 5, and 4 seems fine to me. So we'll add those puppies in and see if this pile of junk can do anything. Alright, I will see you guys in round 1, game 1. Alright, here we go.